Comparing it to the perfect combination of a waffle cone and ice cream, it's challenging to emphasize just how influential the original Resident Evil 4 was. This game didn't just breathe new life into Capcom's aging survival horror series, it reshaped the entire genre and third-person action games as a whole. Remaking Resident Evil 4 is a truly daunting task. Imagine fans being so attached to the original game that it's like putting them in a protective, unbreakable rose-colored glass casket. The question that naturally arises is, why try to fix something that's already perfect? This question is especially relevant in the context of the 2023 remake of Resident Evil 4. While Capcom has some experience with remaking Resident Evil games, it's important to note that the 2019 remake of Resident Evil 2 was widely praised. However, the 2020 remake of Resident Evil 3 received a more mixed response. The Resident Evil 4 remake kicks off with an evening drive along a quiet Spanish road. This scene is instantly recognizable for those who played the original game, with Leon Kennedy relaxing in the backseat of a police car while the two officers in the front seat try to engage the seemingly out-of-place American newcomer. Before long, an unfortunate restroom break takes a gruesome turn and becomes a chilling introduction to the game's main adversaries, a group of villagers infected by a mysterious plague known as the Las Plagas. Leon, who survived the notorious viral outbreak in Raccoon City, now faces another harrowing battle for survival. As he pursues his mission to locate a missing person, Leon must also ensure he doesn't become the main ingredient in a horrifying stew prepared by the locals. Veterans of the original game will quickly recognize the significantly improved production values in the Resident Evil 4 remake. The original RE4 was impressive for its time on the Nintendo GameCube, a console that often didn't get the credit it deserved. However, after nearly 2 decades, it's undeniably beginning to look outdated. The Resident Evil 4 remake introduces the RE4 storyline to a new generation of gamers, completely overhauling the visuals. Character models are now more detailed, and the game's environments feature upgraded textures and all the graphical enhancements you'd expect from a modern game. The game's lighting, in particular, stands out. The interplay between light and darkness is well executed, enhancing the overall suspense. While the original Resident Evil 4 had moments that felt more like an action game than a scary one, the remake changes this, thanks in part to its excellent use of lighting. It's not just the visuals, the sound design also plays a crucial role. The Resident Evil 4 remake makes an effort to dial down the B-movie style dialogue found in the original game. Instead, it adopts a more serious tone, which is noticeable in the voice acting. This shift can be seen as either positive or negative, depending on personal preference. For some players, it might take away some of the personality from certain characters and make them seem more rigid. For others, it lends a greater sense of realism to the narrative. The Resident Evil 4 remake introduces numerous changes and enhancements to the classic game. These alterations are readily apparent, starting with the game's improved production values. The visuals have been reimagined from the ground up, with character models boasting more detail and environments featuring upgraded textures, giving the game a more modern look. Gameplay adjustments have also been made in the remake. The shooting and combat mechanics are notably more intuitive, doing away with the somewhat cumbersome controls of the original. Swapping and assigning weapons has been streamlined, making it easier to manage during intense moments. While the original game's controls added tension, the remake's smoother gameplay is a welcome change. Knife mechanics have been refined in the remake. A parry move has been introduced, adding a strategic element to combat. A well-timed parry can stagger enemies, providing opportunities for counterattacks. Additionally, the remake reduces the frequency of quick-time events that were prominent in the original. Quality of life improvements enhance the gaming experience. The remake introduces different briefcases for Leon, each offering unique perks like increased ammo drops. Charms further enhance the gameplay. The typewriter serves a dual purpose as an inventory management tool and a save point, making it more versatile. Escort missions, often criticized in the original game, have been improved in the remake. Players can adjust Ashley's position relative to Leon, and she can act more independently in certain situations. Players can choose from various difficulty options, catering to a range of skill levels. Lower difficulties come with features like aim assist and health regeneration, while higher difficulties ramp up the challenge for experienced players. The remake includes optional missions that provide rewards for players to upgrade their gear. This adds an extra layer of depth and customization to the gameplay. For those seeking a different style of gameplay, the remake includes Mercenaries mode, offering multiple playable characters, each with a unique fighting style. The Resident Evil 4 Remake successfully breathes new life into a beloved classic, catering to both longtime fans and a new generation of players. While the additional polish and improvements may soften some of the original's tension and lack the groundbreaking impact of the original, it remains a well-executed modern take on an iconic game. That's all for today. Now it's your turn. Let us know in the comments which version of Resident Evil 4 you prefer and why. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay updated on more exciting gaming content. Thanks for joining us today, and remember, no matter which version you choose, it's always game on.